5th century, BC. The Persian Empire rages across the Middle East, enslaving more and more troops as they go. Many rise up and try to revolt against it, specifically the Ionians in modern-day Turkey. King Darius of Persia puts down the revolt swiftly, but when he discovers that Athenians supplied the Ionians with ships, he turns his sights east. The Persians landed at Marathon with about 25,000 troops of mixed infantry and cavalry. However, the Athenians managed to muster only about 10,000 troops, plus 1,000 sent from Plataea. Now, it turned out to be a meager defense, especially because the Spartans were held up in ceremonies during that time of year, so they couldn't send any more troops. Luckily, the Athenians had the high ground, an advantageous position. The Athenians also arrived just as the Persians were setting up camp on the beach. The result was a stalemate that lasted almost 8 days, with neither side willing to leave their defensive positions. On the 9th day of the stalemate, the Athenians received word from Pheidippides, an Athenian courier, that Eritrea had fallen victim to the Persians. This meant that the Persians could receive reinforcements at any minute, and the Athenians would be surrounded. It was now or never. The Greek army charged down the hill at full speed at the Persians. The Athenian leader, Pheidippides, seemed to have been crazy for attempting such a daring attack. Pheidippides, however, had a very strict battle plan. He weakened his center forces and strengthened his flanks. That way, when the two collided, the Persians pushed back the center of his forces. And as the Persian center pushed against his flanks pushed back on their flanks, surrounding the Persian center in his forces and forcing them into a hasty retreat back towards their boats on the sea. The fleeing ships, however, were not retreating back to Persia, but they were instead sailing towards Athens. Pheidippides realized that if they got there before they did, then it would mean that they could make Athens surrender without even a fight, because Athens wouldn't know that they had won at the Battle of Marathon. They had to get word to Athens as soon as possible. Pheidippides, the same courier who had just ran from Athens to Sparta and back a few days earlier, was chosen for the task. He ran the 26 miles from the Bay of Marathon all the way back to Athens to give word of victory. Pheidippides made it to Athens with plenty of time to spare, but he was exhausted from the days of travel. When he fell to his knees in the Athenian court, he managed to mutter his dying words, "Nikomen, rejoice, we won."